Over all the years, mobile gaming's developed tremendously. There's PC open world games, remakes, all kinds of console games ported, and lately even super realistic Unreal Engine projects. If you like a little bit of that, for free, here's a list of 10 games you have most definitely missed over these years you could potentially even fall in love with. Number 1, it's a game I don't believe got mentioned in a single list on mobile gaming ever, or at least in my channel. It's a game called Unknown Fate. See, quite a few times these game developers mix different genres, and once in 1,000 times interesting things happen. I believe one of those games is what you're looking at over here, a first-person platform adventure that plays offline with a controller and all the way free on Android and even the Apple Store. However, on the Apple Store, you gotta pay like a $4 price.
No sign of the girl. Place is quiet.
Now, initially a mobile game, then coming to PCs from over 7 years ago. Number 2, we have Republic, or République into French. It's a stealth-based action-adventure survival horror with a twist, which is you can only see the world through surveillance cameras working together with some dude that you can control to sneak in. It's a free game on mobiles, has like 5 chapters in total, with a story that requires you to actually listen really carefully to get the hang of, and plays with the controller too. Number 3, we have actually an action platformer classic if you're into adventure games, specifically Puzzle, and a good narrative, which is quite interesting here. You don't see that combo often, except it's a console game. You get over here a game called Swordingo, which is you're some dude defeated by an ancient evil, and now tasked to find a sword that can defeat that evil. It's about 130 megabytes in total, plays with a controller offline. It's huge in scale, and for some reason it's free too. Number 4, from roughly a couple years ago, not really a pixel art, but a Metroidvania platformer, action platformer. I've actually mentioned this game a long time ago once. We have Forgotten Anne. This is a mostly, as you might guess by the trailers, cinematic adventure with a focus on storytelling and some light puzzle platforming goodness. It's about 1.5 gigabyte in total, playable with a controller. Not much to talk about except the game's free, rated a 4.7, quite enjoyable with that controller.
You alone are responsible for this, Enforcer. This is where all your actions have led us.
Chief Inspector Magnum, stand down at once! Stop it!
Recently discovered an international criminal organization with an atom bomb.
Now, been around for years. Just a quick mention over here for those of you who haven't played it yet, although it's unofficially available through TapTap or APK Word. A link's down in the description, by the way. We have The Man from U.N.C.L.E. or Mission Berlin. It's a console game that was ported to mobile back then, which was taken down after some copyright issues. Mission Berlin here is playable only offline. It's about 200 megabytes only, legit in-game footage over here, and it's a free game too. On the other hand, if you like board games, card games, or action-adventure all together, Diecast here has them all at its perfection. I still don't know why this hasn't been ported to PCs, or how come it's not a console game either, but nonetheless, it's a turn-based action strategy offline and online multiplayer where you have the fancy to choose a nice cast of characters and stages with a really good art design too. Best game in the list, it's about 600 megabytes in total. Number 7, we have a paid game. One I was actually obsessed with its original and the remake personally from years ago, which was imported to mobile with a divine replay. You guessed it, Trials of Mana. It's a $23 port of a huge action semi-open world RPG anime that is actually purchased over 10,000 times regardless of its scale and price. If you like a good JRPG and a good story on top, this one is the one to go for. But there is a problem, possibly, which is you cannot play the game with a controller. It does not support controllers. With over 1 million downloads and never mentioned in a single list, we have a low-poly style open world action adventure from one of the biggest mobile game developers of all time here called Bunker 21. Yes, there's Bunker 22 from the same developers, but 22 plays online. There's also a premium version of 21 that you can have hands-on for like $50, but does nothing in particular, since you can play this one offline. It's a free game and even has crossplay support with PCs too.
Unstoppable! Wow, what a move!
Now look guys, Globalize over a month ago, sitting on the Google Play with almost 1 million downloads. Already at number 9 we have a fighting game too called MMA Fighting Clash 23. A series of MMA games that actually started life over 8 years ago on mobiles. The sequel over here has more characters, better designs, not entirely playable offline though, but there's a trick. I mean, you can go offline half the way. And it gets a lot of updates too, so there's no bugs. If you like a good fighting game, I just like to mention this game because it's a good one. I played it recently and it works just fine with the controller. Number 10. We have a Car Thief, which is a rather simple but quite exciting solitaire style card battler, whereas unlike most of its own kind, that offers a villain life, meaning you're the actual thief. Guys, have you played the Inscription game where you trick your card buddies? It's kind of like that, but just less scary, if it was scary. A very enjoyable game, quite difficult, quite addicting. The fact that it's free and playable offline makes it just 10 times better. AI is legit, and the whole thing's about 200 megabytes in total. Play it if you like card games.
The king of the gods peered into the future.
And last but not least, I really wanted to not include this one in the list because it's an online game in nature. However, Myth: Gods of Asgard is legitimately the best game that was released within 2023. It's an action RPG mobile exclusive inspired by the Norse mythology and halfway Diablo, hack and slasher, and even a Souls-like. If you like roguelikes, this game is even a tad in that area, but mostly an action RPG. Quite nice in nature, divine in gameplay. If it weren't a mobile game, I'd actually put it right up there with games as big as Hades. It's rated a 5 out of 5, too.